Have you ever visited Sweden and been surprised the moment you start speaking English because everyone answers you back like a native? Not just young people, often shopkeepers, cab drivers, even grandparents. So here's the question: how did a country of 10 million become one of the best non-native English speakers on earth? Stay with me because the answer is not one thing. It's schools, policy, media, history, linguistics, business, and a cultural decision that happened after World War II. And the truth might change how you think about teaching languages everywhere. By the way, Sweden usually ranks in the global top 5 on the EF English Proficiency Index. That's not luck. English didn't explode onto Swedish streets overnight. For centuries, Germany was the main foreign language of trade and learning in Sweden. After World War II, the geopolitical map shifted, American and British culture arrived, travel boomed, and English slowly replaced German as the default global language. Schools followed that social reality. English was introduced widely in school after we and steadily became compulsory across the system during the late 20th century. So the idea that Swedes are naturally better at English. Not really, they made a national choice to learn it. One of the clearest reasons is schooling. In Sweden, English is the first compulsory foreign language, and many municipalities now start instruction as early as the first school year. National goals are set so pupils meet specific outcomes by the 5th year. That means most kids get formal English lessons from the start of primary school and continue through secondary school. But it's not just when kids start, it's how. Curriculum, teacher training, and an emphasis on communication, listening, or speaking matter. Sweden also internationalized higher education long ago, so English is the language of research, many university courses, and academic exchange, giving young people a path to use English seriously, beyond the classroom. A classroom that practices conversation, not just grammar, turns language from school subject into a usable tool. Here's one of the most underappreciated reasons. In Sweden, adult television and films are usually shown in their original language with Swedish subtitles, not dubbed. That means millions of hours of natural English pronunciation, idioms, and accents flow into Swedish homes every year. Researchers show that subtitling creates powerful out-of-school learning effects on language skills. In short, Swedes live with English in their living rooms. It's not only subtitles. Streaming, YouTube, gaming, and international music mean kids hear English constantly. School becomes the place to develop accuracy. On top of that exposure, Swedish and English are both Germanic languages. They share ancestry. That doesn't make Swedes native speakers overnight, but it lowers the barrier. Similar basic grammar structures, many cognates words that look or sound alike, and comparable sentence shapes help learners pick vocabulary and patterns faster than speakers of very different languages. Think of it like learning a cousin's accent versus learning a language from a faraway branch of the family tree. The distance matters. Swedish culture treats English as practical, not a threat. For many Swedes, speaking English is a way to travel, to work, and to participate in global pop culture. It's prestige without shame. Kids watch the original Friends, follow influencers, play online games, and use English as a default in multinational workplaces. The attitude is English opens doors, and that social reward makes effort worth it. That's an important psychological fact. When a language is seen as useful and neutral, not a colonial artifact to be rejected, learners engage earlier and more often. Sweden's economy tech research startups often operates internationally. Companies like Spotify, Klarna, gaming studios, and many research teams use English as their working language. Universities offer many graduate programs in English to attract students worldwide. When adults need English on the job, the incentive to be fluent is enormous. Real usage beats textbook practice every time. When English is the currency of work, people invest in fluency. It's not just impressions, surveys back this up. EF Education First's English Proficiency Index puts Sweden consistently among the highest non-native English countries recently in the global top 5. Across EU surveys and Nordic research, a large majority of Swedes, especially young people, report the ability to understand and hold conversations in English. That statistical picture matches what we see on the streets. Numbers show trend and direction. Younger cohorts are even stronger, meaning the pattern is likely to continue. Subtitles expose learners to the original spoken language while providing textual support. Studies find strong positive effects for countries that rely on subtitles. Learners gain pronunciation, idiom recognition, and listening comprehension in a much more natural way than with dubbed audio. A large working paper study even finds a significant positive causal effect of subtitling on English skills in Europe. That's more than theory, it's measurable. Let's be honest, not every single Swede speaks flawless English. Older generations and some rural communities may use less English. There are also current worries in Sweden about reading skills and educational reform. The country is debating how to balance play-based learning with earlier basics and how to shore up literacy for the next generation. These are reminders that language success depends on ongoing policy and practice, not a one-time formula. The model works, but it needs maintenance. Language skills aren't automatic. Here's a twist you'll like. Some parts of language success are intentional policy and market design. Governments, broadcasters, schools, and businesses decide to use English, and those decisions compound. A royal wedding or a blockbuster film won't make a language overnight, but policy mandatory schooling, media norms, subtitles, and international business culture create a multiplier effect that looks like natural talent from the outside. If another country wanted to copy Sweden's success, what would actually change behavior? Start early but with communicative methods. Early exposure plus speaking practice matters. Expose learners to real media in the original language. Subtitles plus original audio are low cost and high impact. Make English useful beyond exams. Incentivize its use in universities, research, business. Nurture a positive cultural attitude. Treat the language as a tool, not a threat. These are policy ideas and they're not magic, but they work together. Swedish phonology and grammar won't give you a native accent automatically, but shared Germanic vocabulary and similar sentence structures make initial learning faster than for speakers of very distant languages. That gives Swedish learners a head start, which is amplified by exposure. The benefit is deeper than being able to order coffee in English. High English competence opens universities, research networks, and global careers. It also lowers social friction for travel and migration. In that sense, Sweden's English skills are both personal and national capital. If you expected the answer to be Swedes are just better at languages, here's the final twist. It's not destiny or genetics. It's a long, systemic mix of school policy, media choices, subtitles, economic need, linguistic proximity, and culture. Take away one piece and the outcome changes. Put the pieces together and you get world-class English proficiency. That's the surprising truth. So what should you remember? Sweden didn't stumble into perfect English. It built a system that makes English useful, visible, and learnable. That system is the real lesson for any country that wants people to learn a language well. This has been EDUGREAT, where history, policy, and ideas meet everyday life. If this surprised you, hit like, share it with someone who studies languages, and subscribe for more deep dives. Want to learn more? We have a playlist that breaks down language, education, and culture around the world. Check the link in the description or visit our channel EDUGREAT. Tell us in the comments, which countries' language policies should the world copy and which ones should we avoid?